And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. As I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is in trouble, but should be aimed at 134, but the last 60 mile an hour winds kind of redirected it on the rotor. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today, that all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. We pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
You want to check out, give us a shout.
Okay, I see I just barely do have a copy on you on my Pennsylvania SDR, so why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
And see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Roger, I have a 6 DC with a 117 FT710 radio.
Roger, I've got a better copy on you, but you might be undermodulated. Let's, if you're interested in our setup, it begins with you checking to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's called wide, 100 to 2900, Roger.
100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, I will check my bandwidth real quick. Hold on just a minute. My width is 2400.
I'm sorry, it should be around 2900. You're out of the ballpark there. It should be, the best would be 100 on the bottom side to 2900 on the top side, and that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So ideally it's called wide, 100 to 2900, Roger?
100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, I just got it to 100 to 2900. Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's much better. And you do have that, slight little break before you're into somebody else's conversation doing that 100 to 2900. All right. Now let's move to your compressor processor. We want the compressor processor on, but only at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. We just want to use a third of that compressor processor. So, just input for 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
For 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Roger, how do I do that? I have no idea.
Do you have, I guess, assume that you don't have a manual control on the front of your radio, so you probably have to do a menu. And so why don't you just take notes then, and then you can go through your menu at your leisure and crank this in. Roger?
You at your leisure and crank this in. Roger?
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, so once we get that front end, that transmit bandwidth on that 100 to 2900 wide width, then we move to our compressor processor, and we want it on and at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of that compressor processor. Then we move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, then adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 is the sweet spot on your ALC meter. So again, as you watch your ALC meter, you're in transmit, you say the word audio, and you're just primarily interested in the first part of that word, the If you look at that word on a spectrum analyzer, you just see wall-to-wall harmonics. It's a beautiful word for you to use to become a human signal generator. So as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading 7 to 2/3. Roger?
And until your ALC is reading 7 to 2/3. Roger?
I got my mic gain set at 50.
Roger, yeah. Well, see, that's just a nominal location or specific location for that meter, that control. But what you want to do is become specific to your radio, and that's what your ALC meter allows you to do. So again, at a later date, you crank up transmit and say audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Roger.
Yes, sir. And I haven't gotten your name. What's your name?
I haven't gotten your name. What's your name?
Jim Roby. And I go by, it's Donald James, but I go by Jim.
Yes, sir, Jim. And what's your location, sir?
Yes, sir, Jim. And what's your location, sir?
Kokomo, Indiana.
Roger, Jim. And what radio are you running today?
Roger, Jim. And what radio are you running today?
FT710 AESS.
FT710, Roger?
FT710, Roger?
Roger.
Okay, and Jim, what I want you to do is come back slowly phonetically with your call sign again, so I'll make sure I got it right.
Phonetically with your call sign again, so I'll make sure I got it right.
November 9, Delta, Juliet, Romeo.
Delta Juliet Romeo. Roger, Jim. And gosh, we're over in Louisville, so we're not that far away. You're in Kokomo. How far is that from Louisville?
You're in Kokomo. How far is that from Louisville?
I'm going to say about 250.
Yeah, Roger. I should be able to copy you somewhat on my local antenna. Let me switch over there real quick and listen for you, Roger. How about now, Jim? right, I just had a lightning strike. I guess I've got a lightning storm in the area. Come back to me again. Talk to me for just a minute. Yeah, I thought I would have somewhat of a copy on you on my local antenna, but I don't. So I'm best copying you on that PASDR at the moment, Roger.
That PASDR at the moment, Roger.
Okay, so you got a little bit to work with. I don't have a good enough copy on you to be able to work with your equalization settings. I don't have a good enough copy to work with you on your equalization settings, but maybe next week your signal to me might be better after you crank in all the stuff there. So gosh, it'd be nice to make contact next Friday and we could pick it up where we left off, Roger.
Next Friday and we could pick it up where we left off, Roger.
Should be home by 4:30.
Yes, sir. We're usually running between 3:30 and 5, so, and maybe we hang out just a little bit after 5, so we could, get you going on your equalization if we have a good copy. So, Jim, let me say 73 to your partner. Good talking at you, and I hope you have a great afternoon, good weekend. And also, if you wanted to check out your audio, what there is of it on YouTube, we are recording now till 5. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, it will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000 or so, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger. Well, I'm not going to have time. I've got to leave now. We have a hand test tomorrow in Peru, Indiana, and we got to go up and set up tables and so forth for a time. So I'm going to have to leave. But I do have one quick question for you. I have typically XC710 radio, ND. I've also picked up 811, 600 watt power supply or amplifier.
Yes, sir, Jim. I got some of that. Conditions were kind of not too good, but let's see. I have a suggestion for you that what you might do is leave your ALC meter out and be able to look at it as you're talking to your friends and neighbors. And just remember where the sweet spot is on your ALC meter, and try to keep your voice right in that sweet spot, which is 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. And just be looking at your ALC meter, and over a period of time you'll develop a relationship and you'll be able to keep your voice right in that sweet spot, number 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Number 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Roger, I understand what you're saying, and I see what you mean. That helps me keep people in that area.
Roger, Jim. Well, let me let you go, sir. 73, and we'll catch you later, and maybe, hopefully, next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. 74
RJM. I come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign again.
I come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign again.
I'm sorry, RJM, I think we doubled. Come back with your call sign again, very slowly and phonetically, Roger.
Phonetically, Roger.
Roger, you've helped me in the past, and I wanted to be sure my width is correct. I moved it a while ago accidentally, trying to get my CW working. And this is Whiskey 4, Radio Japan, Mexico. How's Bob?
Whiskey 4, Romeo, Juliet, what was the last?
Juliet, what was the last?
Mike, Mike or Mexico.
Roger, RJM, and what's the name there?
Roger, RJM, and what's the name there?
Bob Baker, Oscar Baker.
Roger, Bob, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Bob, and what's your location, sir?
I wanted to be sure my bandwidth is still correct on my signal. You told me to it wasn't wide enough, and I got it just right, but I moved it a while ago, I think. Testing 1, 2, 3, over.
Yes, sir. Well, what you want to do is set it on that wide transmit bandwidth, which is 100 to 2900. You might write that down for future reference. So you go to your ALC meter as you're looking at it with mic gain in hand, and you say the word audio, and you adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Okay, it's hello, testing 1, 2, 3. I believe I'm in the 9 o'clock position where you put me before. This is W4RJM in Northeast Alabama, and I always appreciate your help very much. I had your name and everything written down here. I can't find it. Are you KT9 over?
This is KC9VKV. I tell you there, Bob, I like your modulation, but be sure don't come any further into that mic. You're good exactly where you are, but if you come into the mic, you're going to be too hot. So I think you're just perfect right where you are. So kind of keep that in your mind. You want to be that repetitive as to the way you work that mic, Roger.
Repetitive as to the way you work that mic, Roger?
Roger that. The band isn't cooperating this afternoon, is it? It's kind of noisy. But where are you located?
Yeah, Bob, I've got you on my local antenna now. You're doing me probably about 5, maybe 6 above my noise level, Roger?
6 above my noise level, Roger?
Roger that. Your signal is the same, 5 to 6. With the local antenna. Are you in Kentucky?
Yes, sir. We're around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. And I did just now go to my local antenna. Boy, and it sounds really like you're 10 over, and I think your audio curve is really nice. So why don't you come back and tell me the best thing you like about your radio, and let me listen to you on my local antenna.
Well, I wanted to do a little CW, and I polished my chrome vibraplex, got it all shined up, but it just, and the cable test that both sides are connected and the ground's connected, and I pushed the CW button on this Kenwood, Yaesu PX5000, but I can't get any action on CW. I don't know. Push keyer. Still, I won't get anything out. I must be missing something.
Yes, sir. I would say consult your book. I'm a phone man, so I don't know. I don't know nothing about that key stuff, Roger.
Okay, I understand. No problem. I've got the book right here beside me. That's always the best way to go. A lot of us, the directions is down at the bottom of the list, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, the menu is much too long. It's just so daunting that, the average amateur radio operator just is thoroughly pushed up against the wall with these very long menu books. Gosh, most of them just want to talk. Where's the talk button? Give me the talk button. I don't need all that other stuff.
Well, that's my Kubota tractor instruction book. It must be in the house by my TV chair. Is the handle there, John, over?
Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
Okay, Jim, and do I have your call corrected? Kilo Tango 9, George King Zebra.
Let's try it again. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor KC9VKV, Roger.
Okay, I've got it now. I need to have this framed and put on the wall. You're a very helpful gentleman, and I always appreciate you very much. Hope you had a great Easter celebration with the family, over.
Roger, Roger, and likewise, Bob. And what radio is that you're running now?
It's an old FTDX 5000. I bought it a year or two ago. I guess it's been 2 or 3 years, but we really do like it. It's big and 200 watts out, over.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it just sounds really great. And like I say, you're absolutely perfect right now, the way you are addressing the microphone. But I wouldn't. I would try to stay right like that. I wouldn't try to come up on it or move too far away, because you're just perfect right now. And you know, it's hard to get that perfect position on a microphone where you have the volume right. And then, you know, obviously as you move in and out of distance to the microphone, you have a lot of effects going on there with a bass build-up the closer you get, and then it thins out later on. So just to be in that right space is just beautiful, Roger.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate that, and we'll step aside and let you help someone else. I appreciate it very much. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor from W4 RJM 73s. Jim, have a great weekend.
Roger, Roger, Bob. And if you want to hear your great audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Okay, very good. Now, what do you put after your call? What was that number?
It's a KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. Like you're filling out your logbook, that's mine, Roger.
Okay, logbook, got it. We'll do that. We're a big YouTube fan. I call it YouTube University.
Roger, Roger. You know, it's just amazing. A lot of folks don't have the right outlook on YouTube, because mainly it is that there have always probably been people that have come before you that have run into the same problem that you have, and so they have experience where you don't. And you know, if you dial up YouTube and crank in what your problem is, you will get 5 or 6 solutions, and one of those will probably work.
It's a great feature for us. And I like it now with all our digital equipment, our Apple Watch and Apple phone and car radio. The time is always the same. It used to be different on everything I had in the old days, over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's just, you know, if you stop to think about YouTube, you know, and it's, you know, not just this country, but it's around the world, and in a lot of countries, most countries except for some countries, and we wonder about them anyway. So I think it's probably one of the biggest things around as far as bringing people together. Now, you know, there are all kinds of problems, and hopefully we can work those out, but just the thought of the world being able to congregate on a specific subject at a specific place that you can reach, Roger.
Roger, it's better than encyclopedia for sure. Like the iPhone put the camera people under, the YouTube is ended the need for encyclopedias, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. Now, you know, I do have some faults with YouTube as far as you know, some of the stuff in the past that I think this country is based on freedom of speech, and gosh, you know, there's a whole dilemma there about you know, maybe who determines this and that, but I'm sure they'll all huddle legally or lawfully to figure all that out. Roger.
Roger that. I was at a photo convention in Atlanta in about 1970 or 60 something, and a neighbor photographer said, "Well, Robert, one thing in life for sure you can count on is change," and boy, was he right.
Oh, yes, sir. I used to look forward to change. I was, doing this and doing that, but I've since kind of fell back and said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, it just seems like when you start to do something that you probably could have lived with, and you start to do, sometimes you dig a bigger hole than what you had, Roger?
Yeah, Roger that. Our computer, Adobe keeps changing things, and Photoshop, and I just got screwed up this week already and can't print a document without going through a long rigmarole. I'm tired of it.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have found that I'll say Vizio. I've got about 3 different Vizio monitors, TVs, whatever, and they all are hooked to the internet, and they all get updated from time to time. And it just seems to me that after they update the menu, when they close out of the menu, somehow they leave the volume control maxed out. So when you go to check into something, it might be 2 o'clock in the morning or something. All of a sudden, this audio is just full blast, and you know that you did not leave it that way. So it had to have been somebody that was gunking around in there doing something that you just, and I think that you should always leave the audio muted. If you're doing an update or something, and you have that control, just mute it or put it down around a 3 or something like that. Just don't leave it full blast.
Yeah, I guess the bosses there want them changing stuff all the time to feel like they're getting the payday out of them. That's all I can figure. And when they get a program perfect, then they come out with a new one.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I have some Amazon tablets. I have 6, 7, 8. I have 8 Amazon tablets doing various things. And so they're constantly getting updates from Amazon. And some of them, if you don't check it pretty often, all of a sudden you've got 8 updates to for that each one of these tablets. So some of them take take a little while to upload, Roger.
Yeah, it's really aggravating. I wonder if you live close to. I used to operate the Pipe Cottage and has a YouTube show. Alan Harrelson, I believe. Do you know him, Dr. Harrelson?
No, I don't. I've never met him, Roger.
Okay, moved to Kentucky from the Carolinas, I think, and he has quite a commentary. Anyway, it's sure good to see you, Jim. We appreciate it. I've got to go put my tractor up and cover it up. Excuse me. And I really enjoyed the chat. We'll look for you each Friday afternoon. I got that 2:30 to 5 when you're on. So keep up the good work, and thanks for getting us tuned up. KC9 Victor, Kilo Victor, W4, RJ and M, Northeast Alabama. Clear, Jim, 730s.
Roger there, Bob, and I'm looking at my frequency counter, or my frequency meter, and your audio curve is from the bottom and down around, you have content down to around 25 cycles, but it's easily from 100 to 2900, and that's where we set it, I think, and so it's just doing beautifully. And you've got all those corners, and in the spectrum analyzer, you've got all those lit up, and it looks beautiful. So 73 Bob, you have a great afternoon. If you get a chance, check out your audio, and if not, maybe we can join together next Friday. I'd love to have you. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out. Give me a shout.
Got another light station back in there, a light station calling. Come back and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Yeah, station calling. Come back and tell me about your antenna system for about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Seconds, and let me see if I can find a path for us, Roger.
For Oscar Lima Hotel. Jim, I don't know where he went, but I don't hear him in there now. But I hear you in there, and I thought I'd come back and say hello to you, Jim. How you doing today?
Roger, I'm hanging in there, bud. I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Got another rig, got another amp, and I'm playing with it. So, hey, it is what it is. I just like to tinker, but yeah, I heard you in there, and heard that other guy tinker. But yeah, I heard you in there, and heard that other guy. Thought maybe he'd come back to you, but I guess he took off, Jim. But anyway, good to hear you again, and I hope you're doing well today.
Roger. Now, what's the call sign there?
Roger. Now, what's the call sign there?
This is David, it's Kilo 4, Oscar Lima Hotel. Kilo 4, Old Lazy Ham, over.
Roger, Oscar Lima Hotel. Sounds really good. What radio are you running today?
Sounds really good. What radio are you running today?
Oh, I'm on the ICOM 7300, and I rebuilt that SB220 and got it on the air, and I'm still on the double bazooka. Roger,
you're running the 220 now?
Roger, you're running the 220 now?
No, yeah, I'm running it right now.
Oh.
About 1200 watts.
Sounds so good, man. I tell you, they're just so transparent. I mean, I can't get over, you hook that with a 7300 or something, and the audio is just so beautiful. That amp is just so clean. I found anyway.
No, that amp is just so clean. I found anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I talked to you the other week, and I was on that Yaesu. It took a little bit of adjusting, but we got it set up. But I just thought I'd stop by. You told me to stop by and say hello to you. So I figured I'd take up a little airtime. Maybe somebody else would be wanting to get in here with you. So I heard that guy holler for you, but he didn't come back. So maybe he was unsure about something. But anyway, hey, Jim, I'm not going to hold it up. I'll let you get some check-ins. But I did want to say hello to you, and I hope you have a great weekend coming up, my friend. 73's from Kilo 4, Oscar Lima Hotel. The Old Lazy Ham down here in High Falls, Georgia.
Roger, David. I was trying to find my stylus. It kind of rolled off the table, and I had to go search for it. But you sounded just beautiful. And so we'll look forward to maybe, if you can, join us next Friday. And if you want to hear your audio between now and then, go to YouTube, do that call letter search. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. We'll take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, David, and we'll catch you later, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Oh, just got somebody in there. Said last thing they said was radio. So station that said radio right at the end of it. Give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Right at the end of it. Give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, please. November radio.
Okay, November radio. Come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Okay, November radio. Come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically. November Union. November radio.
All right, well, gosh, we have to maybe deal with you. I think we have a suggestion for your audio. I was catching some conversation in the background, and it was kind of QRM-y with your basic signal. So I'm thinking maybe you want to turn down your mic volume and then come closer to mic, maybe about 4 inches from the microphone, Roger.
Maybe about 4 inches from the microphone, Roger. Roger, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I would back off the volume some more, and it sounds like there might be a frequency thing. We're on 718800, Roger. 718800.
800, Roger. 718800.
Yes, sir. I got you now. So if you'd be interested in our setup, it starts with you double checking. Let me get your radio. What radio are you running today, sir?
Double checking. Let me get your radio. What radio are you running today, sir? I'm running a Yaesu FT710, and I just put a desk mic on it, and that's what I was wanting to see how this desk mic was working out.
Sounds pretty good. Now, what's the name there?
Sounds pretty good. Now, what's the name there? The name here is John Julia Oscar Hotel November. I'm out of Cincinnati, Ohio. You got a 5x9 on this end.
Roger, John. So, if you would, if you could check your transmit bandwidth. We're looking for it to be in that wide position to maximize the capability of your transmitter, and then just leave a slice before you're into somebody else's conversation. So we recommend that setting called wide, which is 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900. I'm not sure now, if your radio's older, you may not have that, but the newer radios all have usually like 3 different bandwidth selections, and one of those is 100 to 2900, Roger?
And one of those is 100 to 2900, Roger? Roger, I'll take care of that. I appreciate it. 7-3, my friend, and hope to talk to you again.
Roger, John, 73, sir, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by tomorrow morning. Roger, noontime tomorrow, Roger?
I'll have it uploaded by tomorrow morning. Roger, noontime tomorrow, Roger? Roger.
Roger, John, 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlognet. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8, India Juliet Golf. What's the name there?
Good afternoon. Name here is Bill, Bravo India Lima. I'm in Ohio, east of Cleveland, and you're running a 5.9 here. Very good copy. Back to you.
Roger, Ohio. And what radio are you running today, bud?
Roger, Ohio. And what radio are you running today, bud?
I'm sorry, I missed that. Your question again?
Roger. Just curious what radio you're running today, Bill.
Roger. Just curious what radio you're running today, Bill.
I'm running the Aircheck T4. I picked it up a few months ago and getting it into service.
Roger. Well, I don't have a really good copy on you. The only copy I do have, let's see where we are here. I'm on my New York SDR, and so I'm copying you on that, and that's about the best one, and that's about 4 dB over that SDR's noise level. So, and it's coming and going. So, what I want to do is try to get you down on my local antenna and see what that sounds like, Roger.
Local antenna. See what that sounds like, Roger.
All right, Bill. I'm currently outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and could be weather conditions. We have a storm that's due here in about an hour or so. So maybe playing a little bit with weather conditions, atmospheric conditions.
Roger, Roger. Now I've got you just about 10 to 15 over on my PA SDR, so a signal came up on that SDR just in a little bit. Your audio curve is quite a bit rolled off on the bottom side. I would say probably rolling out at about 400 cycles. So you have mid-range and some top end, but the bottom end is pretty cut out. So just in passing there, what we normally would do would be, if you would be interested, the first thing would be to check your transmit bandwidth, your TBW, to be sure you're in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and that will give you the best operation of your transmitter. It'll let you keep as much top end as you can, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you would be into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Before you would be into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
I do copy. I'm running a bandwidth of 2.8 and using W2 IHY's audio, so I pumped up the bass, just the bottom end, just a little bit.
Roger. And can your radio come on up to 2900? That would really help your top end. If you could get that radio in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, if it's possible.
100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, if it's possible.
Yes, it is. Still kind of learning the button position of the radio. I know it is doable. Let's see, I'm on 28, and I'd have to kind of fuzzing around. Right now it's kind of staying at 28, so let's see, if I go up here, I'm at 3, and I'm not getting able to drop it down to 2. Not being able to look, I get 2.8, I get 3, but it's not responding. So it's still operator error, learning how to use this radio, N8IJG.
Roger, Roger, David. Well, start with a sledgehammer. That's it'll go. Oh, get it going that way. No, I'm kidding. Some of these radios are so menu driven. It's just it's terrible. I mean, some of them really, well, it's nice to have a radio with a volume control of the mic on the front end of the radio, not to be too picky about things, but there are some basic things that you use quite often, and they should be on the front deck as opposed to have to go menu. Roger.
On the front deck as opposed to have to go menu. Roger.
So right now I can get 2.8 and I can get 3, but can't kick it at the moment to 2.9. So we'll have to investigate a little bit further, but as I said, just wanted to make a little bit of a contact transmission-wise and make sure I was getting some RF out back to N8IGG.
Roger that, sir. And you are. It's sounding good. I mean, I would prefer just a tad more bass. I don't like to load up on the bass line because there's a lot of different things that can happen to your signal on the way from here to there, and Mother Nature has many times decided to reflect signals back at different time spans, just slightly different time spans, and they become out of phase, and that out of phasing starts with the upper side of the audio spectrum in your signal and then works its way down. And so the first thing that Mother Nature does is just take all that nice top end and intelligibility and just rips it right out, and all of a sudden you're left with this real heavy Mr. Mumbles bass line, Roger.
Left with this real heavy Mr. Mumbles bass line, Roger.
I do copy. I kicked up the bass just a little bit more on the EQ. So, alrighty, I'll let you make some additional contacts. I do thank you for the service that you offer. I appreciate it. I've been on a couple other times previously, and I wish you the best of days, and thank you again for the service you provide. 73. This is N8IGG.
Roger Bill 73, sir, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, David. I'm sorry, Bill. Have a great afternoon. We'll catch you next Friday if you get a chance. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Echo 3, Papa, Charlie, Papa.
Papa Charlie Papa, and I am on the PASDR, and you're blowing me away.
Hey, Papa, and I am on the PASDR, and you're blowing me away.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. I'm actually operating portable right now. I'm set up, we're doing a military emergency training exercise this weekend, so we're set up at a place called Baltimore, Ontario, just east of Toronto, so I'm just running portable here, running my Kenwood TS-850 with a hand mic into a 40-meter dipole, about 25 feet. Back to you.
Gosh, man, that signal sounds like you're running about a KW or two, Roger.
That signal sounds like you're running about a KW or two, Roger.
Well, I appreciate the flowers, that's for sure. You're not real strong here, but I've got some noise here too, which doesn't help matters any, but I'm able to pull you up there. Back to you.
Roger. Well, I'm just on that dipole. I'm always on the dipole on transmit, but I'm moving around on my receive circuit, and like I say, you look to be about 15 or so, maybe even 20 over on my. Let me make sure what that is. My PASDR, yes. You're doing a great job, Roger.
My PASDR, yes. You're doing a great job, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Well, I do appreciate it. I'm just testing. The big day is tomorrow, so we've got, there's Canadian forces are doing a training exercise. Like I said, it's a simulated emergency, so there's a lot of ham operators involved, and we're providing auxiliary communications. Go ahead.
Roger that. Well, you're really sounding good. I think you are prepared as normal, Roger.
You're really sounding good. I think you are prepared as normal, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks, Jim, and you have a great rest of your hour there, or hour and a half, whatever it's going to be. And thanks very much, and I will look forward to listening to the recording. KC9VKV, VE3, PCP portable.
Roger, but I'll have you uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, KC9VKV logbook by noon. So 73 up that way, and I wish you luck on your event. I'm sure everything will just go beautiful. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
That November 8 Echo, come back slowly phonetically with that call sign.
November 8 Echo, come back slowly phonetically with that call sign.
Norway 8 India Echo. November 8 India Echo. And the name is Dan, Delta Alpha November. Over.
Roger, Roger. And Sam, is that Roger? Roger, Sam is the name there. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Sam is the name there. Is that a Roger?
Oh, no, it's Dan. Delta Alpha November.
Dan, Roger, Roger. Well, Dan, you got some problems on your microphone key. I'm not sure whether it's that you need to put some little tuner cleaner in that switch element or not, but it sounds pretty staticky, Roger.
Or not, but it sounds pretty staticky, Roger.
All right, I turned the audio down. I think I might have had the gain up too high. Probably get some audio. Is that any better right there?
I think it's getting there. If you got just a moment, maybe we can get you set up real quick. Is that what radio are you running there?
Maybe we can get you set up real quick. Is that what radio are you running there?
Yeah, I'm running an old Gen-Tech Omni 6 Plus with the, I think it's the 707 decimal.
Roger that. And let's see, you got Dan, is that that's Roger on the name, right?
Yeah, you got Dan, that's Roger on the name, right?
Yep, that's Roger.
Okay, on the microphone it's
705. I had to correct myself there, over.
Okay, Dan, I just moved to my Kentucky SDR up around Cincinnati on the Kentucky side, and you're sounding a lot better. So, but you still have that noise. Where are you located, Dan?
That noise. Where are you located, Dan?
All right, let me turn that down just a little bit more. Trying to get the ALC not to bobble up here too much. There we go. We're located in Kettering, Ohio, which is just a couple of miles south of Dayton, Ohio. Over.
Yes, sir. So that's why I've got a good copy on my Kentucky antenna, because it's up around Cincinnati, so it's at least on the way there. So what we would be looking at is if you can get to that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW, transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900. It's called wide, and it will allow that transmitter of yours to operate as best it can, and then give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So it's the preferred is called wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth.
Wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look that up because I'm not quite familiar with this radio. Is that in the menu system?
Yeah, it's in settings. Roger, in settings. So we could move along, or if you would be better off just to take some notes and crank stuff in at a later time, we would go from our setup on your transmit bandwidth to your compressor processor, and we want that on, but just at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of that compressor processor. You never hear it on the air, but it helps us make our numbers right at the end, Roger.
Never hear it on the air, but it helps us make our numbers right at the end, Roger.
Okay, Roger. I took those notes, and we'll make those changes here in a little bit.
Roger. Then to set your ALC, the best way to set your ALC, you become a human test generator. And as you say the word audio, with mic gain in hand, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio and adjust your mic level to go to that sweet spot. Roger?
Audio and adjust your mic level to go to that sweet spot. Roger?
ALC, what does ALC got to do with it?
ALC is the Bible for your radio. It will set and tell you how your radio is doing even better than your friend down the road. Usually your ALC meter is just below your larger meter, and it only runs usually about half the distance lengthwise of the meter that's above that. It's called ALC, and that will is the way that you can set your proper mic volume for your radio. It will indicate your volume setting, and you bring your volume up until you're reading 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Reading 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Okay, we got you there. That sounds good. We'll go through that here in just a little bit. All right, man, we appreciate it. I didn't catch the name on that end. What is it, over?
Roger, Dan, it's Jim, Juliet India Mike. We're on the Qso-Vlog net. We're located down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio, right at Louisville. Roger?
Yeah, Indiana side of the Ohio, right at Louisville. Roger?
Okay, yeah, I know approximately where you're at. All righty, well, I appreciate the help, and I appreciate Qso there. So you take care, and you have yourself a good afternoon, Jim, and it's been a pleasure. We'll talk at you later, buddy. This is November 8th, India Echo 73.
Roger, Dan, and we've been recording, so if you want to hear your radio, particularly when you came in, that mic noise was just really prevalent, and apparently it simmered down as you got your volume down, so it might be related to volume, maybe not, I'm not sure, but we have been recording, and if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow.
This recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow.
All right, fantastic. We'll give that a listen to. I definitely appreciate it. It's always good to hear what your radio's doing. All right, Jim, take care, my friend, and we'll talk next time. That was K9, what was that, VKV?
KC9 Victor Kilo Victor, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
Kilo Victor, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
KC9 VKV, we got you. All right, buddy, you take care. Have yourself a good afternoon, and we do appreciate it. This is November 8th, India Echo 73.
Roger, Dan, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Station calling, I could hear you in there, but just barely on my PASDR. Could just barely copy you on that, and could not copy you at all on my other antennas. So I don't think we're going to be able to make contact at this point, at this situation. But if my level comes up to you over the next 20 minutes or so, why don't you try and give me a shout, and I'll see if I can copy you, because conditions do change minute by minute. So things, if I come up to you, maybe you come up to me, and maybe we can get a QSO going later in the hour. So 73 for now, though. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
United Sierra, over.
Station ending in Sierra. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Hi, Jim. Whiskey X-ray 9, United Sierra, Waterloo, Illinois.
Roger, and what's the name there?
Yeah, name here is Phil, and got an Omni D, and I just want to get a report on if possible. I'm actually not too far from you. You're over in the Louisville area. I'm over south of St. Louis. South of St. Louis.
Roger, I was copying you on my local antennas somewhat. Just checking out, you might be slightly high on frequency. We're on 718800. 718800. Roger?
Roger, maybe you say I'm off, what, at 1 KC?
Just a very little. It just gives you an upper whine just a little bit. Not much at all, but, I recognize what it is, Roger.
Roger. Otherwise, other than that, how does the rig sound? Over, Jim?
Roger. Well, I'm looking at your modulation on a spectrum analyzer, and I'm also looking at it on a conventional analog meter. And this analog meter is a very neat thing. It, the fatter you get, the more this meter hangs up. As far as, if you say we're not running any compression or processing, and we're speaking to me, this meter would be jumping up and down like, back and forth. An analog meter does, But as you get compression going on your voice, the meter starts to reflect what your dynamic range is, because it's not flopping around. It's flopping more like plus or minus 3 dB as opposed to 10 dB width. So your processing is pretty perfect there, and I would say your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. Roger?
I haven't had a specific report on this radio in a while. So, like I said, I did mistake, but I'm running Gentek Omni D just barefoot with a D104. So it's kind of it's a navy blue here, so to speak. So anyway, Jim, you're coming in here fine. I'm sure you're running a little power. Thank you very much for the feedback. Over.
Roger that. I'm copying you now. Let's see. I've got to look here. I'm copying you on my Hocus Pocus antenna, interstate internet. We'll get it out in a minute. My SDR up around Cincinnati. It's on it's on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, and you're giving me looks to be about a 5 or 6 over. So sounds really good. And if you want to hear it, I would go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording, and I should have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger? Recording, and I should have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Jim. I appreciate that. That'll be an interesting thing to hear. Anyway, I'll let you go, and like I said, I'm fairly close to you. I'm air miles apart. St. Louis to Louisville. Anyway, have a good day. Thank you, Jim. Let me free. Thank you again.
Roger, 73 there, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And I guess we're just not close enough and not far enough away to really have the propagation that we need to have, good. If you were probably about 15 miles further away, I'm sure we would probably have good propagation. That's the way Mother Nature is. Strange, always. So 73, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4, November Echo Uniform. Name is Art, Alpha Romeo Tango.
Roger, Art. And what's your location, sir?
Roger, Art. And what's your location, sir?
We are located in Humboldt, Tennessee. Qso.
Roger, Art. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Art. And what radio are you running today, sir?
The radio is an FTDX 101D as in Delta.
101D, Roger. Well, if you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, I'll look around and see if I can get a better copy for us, Roger.
I'll look around and see if I can get a better copy for us, Roger.
Yes,
65 feet, and can do a 4-to-1 balance. It's an 80 meter, and then I'm using a PAL-STAR tuner to kind of clean it up for the SWR. Qso.
Roger, I got you on my local antenna. It looks to be about 8 over. Sounds pretty good. I do notice that maybe there's a couple of things we can do. Is your radio capable of 100 to 2900 on its transmit bandwidth, TBW?
Yes, it is, and I said it. I heard you when you first came on your net. I put it at 1 to 2900, Roger.
Yes, sir. That will let your transmitter work at its peak of performance, and then give you just a flash of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So we definitely suggest that folks run in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and then we move to your compressor processor, and we just want that barely on, like a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger.
Yeah, that was one question I had for you, Jim. This thing's got that AMC, and a lot of people defeat it, and a lot of people use it, and I've been wrestling with it for over a year. I heard you talk to the other gentleman about the compressor, and I have no idea. You're supposed to balance, I guess, the AMC versus compression, Roger?
Well, there's a lot of different ways folks have of doing things. I just have mine. If somebody wants to put their compressor on a 3, it shouldn't take meters and dials and all that stuff to just put a 3 on if it has an input level and it's a 1 to 10, put it on a 3, or if it's 1 to 100, put it on 30. I don't think you have to have a lot of other balancing stuff or anything. You can just put that radio on a 3 as far as the compression's concerned,
All right, that's about 30%.
Repeat that?
Hang on 1 second. All right, that's going to be about a 3 out of 10 there, Jim.
Okay, so then go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, you become a human test generator. We're just listening for the first part of that word, the part, and as you say that, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter shows 7 or 2/3 deflection. Roger, 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Roger. Audio. That is about 2/3 right there. Good.
Oh yeah, sounds just beautiful. So why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio now that we've got your volume squared away, Roger?
Roger, I really like the receive on this thing. It is exceptional. When I first got it, I struggled with it a little bit because I got back in the business right after COVID hit. I kind of let my license lapse from 2000. So I went and got it back in 2021, I believe, and then upgraded to extra class this year. So getting ready to retire, so trying to get everything right, Roger.
Roger, Art, now make a note of your proximity to microphone. Your balance to microphone right now is just perfect. So when you adjust the microphone, use that percentage, that position the microphone as consistent as you can. Your audio frequency response where you are is down to below 100 cycles, somewhere 75, somewhere in there, nice bottom end and a nice top end. So you're just perfect right where you are. So just remember that and try to adjust the microphone the same way as much as you can. Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Jim. Okay, sounds good. I appreciate the help. Like I said, I struggled with this thing for a while when I first bought it, but I'm really getting to like it now. So I put a Pal-Star amp on it too, and been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what I would do, I would leave my ALC meter out, so I can have something to do, look at while I'm talking to my friends and guys across the country, around the world, and just try to keep your voice as much as you can in the sweet spot. That the sweet spot is a 7 or 2/3, however it happens to be on your ALC meter. But you're looking at your ALC meter as you're talking, and you're just playing with it, trying to keep your voice right in that sweet spot as much as possible. And you'll find that over a period of time, you'll develop a relationship with that meter, and you'll be able to just consistently put your voice in that sweet spot all the time. You might have to tickle your transmit volume control just a tad up or down, but probably only slightly. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Jim. It's running about 60% on the ASL. It's running right up to the blue line, so I think that's your 2/3 sweet spot there, Roger.
Roger. Well, what I'm saying is just to the right of middle. Probably somewhere just to the right of we get these metaphors going down here. Just to the right of middle, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, and that's where it's at, Jim. It's sitting right there, Roger.
Yes, sir. It sounds good. I'm looking at your audio on my VU meter, and it does show the dynamic range to be about 3 dB, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. So that's a nice, strong signal, but clean. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Jim. Well, I appreciate the help. I know the band's in and out. You're running from 10 overs to S5. So conditions are definitely not the best today, but I do appreciate the help, sir.
Yes, sir. Glad to do it. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, I appreciate that. I'll take the opportunity tomorrow afternoon to jump on there, Jim. So let me say 73s. Maybe somebody else wants to get in there and get some help, but I really, really appreciate it. W4NEU, clear on your final.
Roger, Roger, sir. 73 there, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. So, gosh, we got about 3 minutes left. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo, Delta,
Zulu, Whiskey, Echo. Is that a Roger?
Zulu, Whiskey, Echo. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Zulu, Whiskey X-ray. And what's the name there?
Whiskey X-ray. And what's the name there?
Well, let's see. Mother Nature just jumped down again. Come up on that mic again and give me your name.
See, Mother Nature just jumped down again. Come up on that mic again and give me your name.
Zulu, Whiskey, X-ray. Come up on the mic and give me your name again, Roger.
X-ray, come up on the mic and give me your name again, Roger.
Well, listen, Zulu Whiskey X-Ray, I'm sorry I can't pull your name out. So maybe next week we'll have better conditions and we'll be able to make contact. If you can check in next week, it'd be great. Right now we got to get out of here. Since 3:30 we've been broadcasting on our Qso-Vlog net, so we have to return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and we're clear.
Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and we're clear.